Hello and welcome to this video. Today I'm gonna do something completely new. You notice that I have Wireshark open. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try my best to analyze and explain a packet capture of some malware stuff going on. I'm not gonna tell everything right now because let's get to the point while I'm analyzing this malware trace. So let's just get started, I guess, because Wireshark is Wireshark. I'm gonna warn you that already now, this is a bit technical. I'm not gonna go into details about everything because it's gonna be too much for this video. So it will require you to have a somewhat good understanding of network and traffic and protocols in order to understand this. Else it will just be a bit, I guess, blurry. But let's try and get started. First of all, let's talk about Wireshark. Well, Wireshark is a tool that can, I wouldn't call it the best tool for monitoring stuff because it is not really. It's really good if you already have a PCAP file, which I do have in this case. And basically just open in Wireshark, and then Wireshark offers really good tools and search filters. As you can see here, this is a displays filter for you to walk through all this. And my standard view here is that I have a number, a time of data recording, you can call that, the source, destination, protocol length, and some info. So let's talk about what is this, what do we have here, what can we find from this trace. And I'm just going to scroll down a bit. We have 13,961 packets. So just off the bat, while looking at this, I see a lot of TCP traffic. And that's what I usually just do. TCP. Usually when you have Wireshark capture, you see a lot of stuff, but this was recorded as a purpose to showcase some sort of malware trace. So they of course excluded all the other non-interesting traffic on the network. In order to record a network traffic trace like this, you need to be in the network, of course. It's difficult to say how they did it because when we get to the point of what this actually is, then we're gonna, well, you might understand why this is a problem running in a local area network. So I guess someone recorded it and decided to share. Let's look at the very first start of the packet here. What we see is, and the reason I just start this way is because what we see is a DHCP, a dynamic host configuration protocol request from the IP address. It's a local IP address. I'm going to pay attention to the overall three normal local IP addresses areas. It's called 10 as the first one. It's 172 and 192. That's very normal. I guess I could bring in a browser and basically just write network and then do something like private addresses. And you could probably see that you have the range right here. Is that the very first range with the maximum host and stuff are typed in at the three different classes of networks you basically have when you talk about private networks. And this particular trace is obeying these rules. So we have 10 points and 172 and 192. In this trace we're only having class B networks as internal networks, but that could be very different from and pay attention to it's from .16, so 172.16, which is also what we see here, is that the very first thing we do actually see is that we have a broadcast from some sort of internal device, and just looking down to the line number 3, we can see that it is actually the destination of something and it's a DHCP request. So I say there's a really good chance that the one called of 254 as the last segment here of the IP is actually our DHCP server, which would make somewhat, I guess, sense in this particular case. So we basically can see the very first IP address here. It is called 172.16.253.132, which is our local machine requesting an IP address, basically. Well, it do have an IP address, but it's going to the request, the ACK discover, the offer, everything is complete. And you could probably look at the offer here and see what is being offered. Let me see if we can find this. So the next your client is this. Do we have some sort of offer? I'm not really looking at DHCP traffic a lot, but the DHCP protocol is basically going through this request, discover, offer. So it's offering an IP address for the connecting party. So basically, what we can see here is that we have some brown traffic going on, but what I'm more interested in is the TCP traffic that we have a lot of. So we can see you scroll through all of this. It's basically like down to packet almost 14,000 from packet 21. So that's basically almost 14,000 packets of TCP traffic. And when I just look at it, basically what I see is that we take the very first one, and you can use Wireshark to help you a bit here. It's gonna put these, dotted lines and basically tell you what this packet is connected to. So this is the very first packet. It's being sent to some random IP. We have no idea who it is. It's just some public IP, it would seem. And when we press it, we see that it is a typical TCP packet. Nothing special. The length is 62, so I'm not expecting some sort of payload or data being sent here. And right off the bat, I noticed it's a SYN packet, so that's a connection request on the TCP protocol. If I go down here and look, you can see that's a dotted line. At some point it should be not dotted, and it would seem that this particular host is not interested in connecting, or some way just doing a REST ACK. I'm not 100% sure what that means when you get it back. We can try and search for it just to learn something. So it's a TCP protocol. Alright, ACK as response. What would that mean? REST ACK is used in TCP to end a TCP session. So basically, it's kind of just ending the connection request. That is the way you can use Wireshark, these small lines here. And I totally, there's something here, about some TCP retransmission, but what I do see is that you have another packet sent here from the same, IP address, the same 172.16.253.132, and this is the one I see, just glancing at it, all the way down, and it's just there all the time. So I have a feeling right now that this IP address is going to be our main actor in some way, and it looks like it's communicating with different IPs all the time. And this is exchange. So let's just have a look at the next one. This is a SYN packet. So we have some connection. We can see that we have this as the whole, exchange, and there is data here. You can see actual data being sent back and forth. You can see that it's wrapping with the line here on the left saying this packet here is. So we have a SYN, ACK, and then we have a some ACK stuff and more blah blah blah, and then we have a lot of data going on. So we can basically click on this and say follow TCP stream, and we can see a lot of data going on. So what we have now is the trace, the whole packet trace, and we are basically reading this 1514 bytes. We have no idea what this is. We can just scroll through it and it looks like, encrypted data. It doesn't really give anything. We could, of course, try and show the data as different things, but even in hex, it would not make any sense. I know it would be advisable to do as much as you can, but in this particular example, I'm just gonna say this is properly encrypted, and I would say, since this is the same size I see every time almost, even this, if I do follow, it looks like the same jimble jumble. Have no idea what they are exchanging. So we can just basically see this connection here, this communication record of all the different packets we have. Like, how many packets do we have? Where can I see the statistics? 52 packets. It's very small. It's down below here. So we can see the 52 packets. We have some sort of exchange going on, and what is really going on, I'm not 100% sure, but we are exchanging data. What really hits me is that we have this port 80, and we are sending from port 1051 from my machine to the external host to port 80. And when I click the different packets, I'm not really seeing any HTTP protocol traffic. What I could try here is just click through all of them and see if something comes up. I'm going to use the arrows just pretty quickly. And whoops, we have something here. And this packet here, we have some HTTP traffic, which is let's do a follow HTTP stream, and it's one more time something. No idea what this is. I cannot say. It looks encrypted. It looks, I don't know. Honestly, no idea. So we do know that the HTTP protocol is used here, but not in its typical manner. It does say HTTP, but there is absolutely nothing going on. Characters found in header name, severity level warning. This doesn't look like what you usually see when you do HTTP protocol in action. So, but there is this. So I sense that this is some sneaky way, that someone is trying to send, something back. This is actually the machine we connected to, sending something back to me. So, is there a case where I send something to... Why is it blue? Flags? FinAC? Oh, yeah, okay, so... Okay. So we are ending the connection and stuff like that. Okay, so I cannot say if... And I'm just going to close this again. From what I understand, this is... Whoa. It's only... Why is it opening all the time? It's only the one with... That one, isn't it? No? this one. One of them had the HTTP protocol, which is the, let me just see one more time. Which one was it? One of them. We just basically looked at it, but it was when I received some data. There we have it right here. When we received some data from one of them through the HTTP protocol. That is very interesting because I have no idea what they did. You know, I received some data. So the machine that I connected. So let's just assume that this is one of the ideas. You know, and we go back to the initial. You know, here where we have this packet here, and all of this is connected. Then we have another. Let's see. What is this? So we have a SYN connection here going on to this machine. So we can say follow TCP stream one more time. And what we see here is very interesting. I do actually see a GET request. I do actually see a real GET request here. This is very interesting. It's what is it I'm reading here? So no, it's not the one. So what we do see here is that I have no idea what's going on. It's something like index and search going on. We are requesting the HTML page on, and we are sending some data. So we have a GET request, and then we get a response somewhere. Yeah, it's a response here with some data. And then, we can see the packets being, and then we are having another request with some data. Okay, and then we get a response with some data. And that's it, basically. This is actually a real media type. What is this? So it is something. There's something here going on. Decode as. Save. No. Export packet. Show packet bytes. Yeah, we don't really know what this is, and since this is a real, it could be intentionally bad, I don't know, but I have no idea what this is. It could be commands or something. It could be an image. I don't think it's an image. I really do not think it's an image. Let's continue. So what do we see here? So we have another, what was it like around here? We got so we do have some GET requests going on. So could I do like, say, HTTP? How do I filter on? This is just type GET. HTTP traffic. Do I have something? Because I do have some HTTP traffic here going on. Not a lot, but we do have a login. Oh. That's very interesting. So if I take this and look at the stream, maybe I should say follow HTTP stream instead. We are requesting the login page. I'm not really gonna question the different, so it's gonna be my IP address requesting a login page from this particular site, which is sending back something, and then a lot of GET requests. No post requests, just GET requests and some data. And this is just, this is just me looking at the traffic and basically not really seeing anything, I must be honest, it doesn't make much sense at the moment. What do we have here? Now I'm gonna look at the package size, media type. Yeah, we have something here. So we're receiving something. So I guess this raises the question, what is it we're looking at? And just off the bat, it's I want to see, what is this? It's the same, right? I've seen this signature before, but not really gonna conclude much on this. Yeah, so it's difficult to say what is going on here, because it's like this IP here is that's a legitimate, GET request, and it doesn't really say much other than there's an HTML page lying on this. It's just a HTTP server, that's about it. And after that, basically we're just getting the 200 OK. And I guess that's it. I don't know if this is a decoy, because I just don't see anything going on. So what if I just go back again and say, what is it I look at? It's only a few, it's just a very few of them. It's like this IP address here. So if I do IP source equal 95.69.159.200, and I filter that, I do see that it do sends a lot of stuff to us. I can see that we do have some data being sent here. I know what it is, to be honest, and I can see that there is some sort of HTTP request 200 OKs going on, and with some data, and we don't really know what that is, to be honest. And then we have a lot of stuff going on after that, so I don't really know what this is. So let's just, go down, I guess we're pretty much down here, and say whatever packet, we take another SYN packet here and we just follow that stream. And then there's nothing in this stream, it's just an empty and empty. I have another window open here. Just close it. Just doing nothing, ending the connection there. It's so since ag end it, ag end, sure, and then that's it for this connection, and that just looks. It looks like if I should say something to this, it looks like that this IP address is saying, "Hey, are you live?" And it says, "Yeah, let's do connection and see if I'm working." Then that's it, And and the other ones here with the HTTP traffic, since they have a lot of data being sent, that could be the decoy of doing something. Search like what? We do have some data. What is that? What is it? I have no idea what this is. You do send some data, but I must be honest, I cannot see that. It's encrypted in some way. So this is not normal. It is also so our user agent the first time to this machine, to that machine, which is the same machine, the same, is changing. So user agent this time here is different from the time here. This is very odd. So I would like to say this is. Let's look at some statistics now. Now that we looked at the traffic, you can go to statistics fan and say capture capture properties, and you can see that that it was a duration of 18 minutes, and there are some different statistics here not important to us. So you can also go and say, we have some result addresses, and let's go say to hosts, so that there is no DNS going on. So okay, so if we have a lot of traffic going on and it's mainly this IP address here connecting to other hosts, then I would say that if it's able to connect to other hosts without doing DNS requests to get IP addresses, it tells me that whatever is communicating on this IP here is having some hard-coded stuff going on, and that could be some malware going on. So there's probably a program installed in this machine here called 132 that's that contains some sort of malware that can connect to some hard-coded IP addresses. So that's probably going to be the case here. So, and the more I think about it, it looks like I think it's a botnet here going on. So let's see. Let's do some conversation stuff. So we can basically see, and sorry for this is very, very small. We can see that we can basically see that, on the IPv4 that this IP address, which is us basically, let's just sort it. Yeah, the DHCP server did communicate once to this, but that's about it, isn't it? That's the only thing going on. Yeah. So we communicate to a whole lot of different, and most of them do have this 63, 28, and only a few of them contain is the packet sent and the amount of bytes. Let's see if we sort that. We can see here that a few of them, we have quite a lot of data going on here. It's in decays, so it's like 53,000, and from there it's just going down and down and down. So I would probably say that even though that there's a difference from 124 to around 4,000. It might just be some heartbeat functionality saying I'm still alive. I really don't know, but it's just my guess. And this seems like this is the machines that's being ordered from this machine here. So the machine called .32, which is still the one here. And I apologize for the small text. could be some sort of, well, it's a command and control maybe. It could be some sort of command and control server going on here. I'm not really sure. To be honest, this is my first time recording a malware video, so I'm really fumbling in it. But I think it could be. I think. Let's look at some other statistics, endpoints here. So we can see that it's sorted by a country and reverse it. So we do have some internal stuff going on, which is not resolving to a country, but we can see that some of the machines that should be infected, this is the IP address of infected machines, then that would be the zombie machines containing the malware. You can see that they are in the United States. We have a lot of them in Ukraine and a few in Taiwan, one in Spain, and it goes on. South Korea, Russia, and it would seem that they are located in different companies. Yeah, I guess. So my best guess is that this IP address that we see here is basically commanding all the other machines. Yeah, don't really tell much. I think for this video I'm gonna end it here, because I'm gonna reflect upon this packet trace a bit more. I don't know, it does have a name of Kellyhus or something like that, Kellyhus, but I would like to say that I do know it's a botnet and I do know what it is, but looking at the traffic, this is difficult. You need to know some things about network in order to understand this kind of trace. If any one of you watching this video think that you could help me in better understanding this, or can provide some helping hand towards a greater perspective on this packet trace, I would welcome you to write to me in a comment on the video, and let's see what happens, because I'm very interested in this packet tracing and looking at what's going on. I think it's quite fun to dissect it and what is really going on in the machine, and there's a lot of numbers and words, and really know your network in order to understand this. But I really hope you, in some way, I gave you something to watch in this video. It is half an hour I recorded. I hope that you learned something, and that you might spark an interest in you to further investigate, on packet traces. I currently do not know if you can download this somewhere, but there's probably some things you can find on the internet if you go and type sample malware packet trace example, something like that. So until next time, I'm gonna say take.